Rewind to 1986. I was working for a company here in Raleigh. The company was sold, and I had an opportunity to stay with one of the surviving companies or go off in another direction in the corporate world perhaps, or take my chances. And I had always thought of owning my own business, always thought it would be something I would enjoy. My father was self-employed, and so I grew up in that environment. And so I had a vision for the business. I thought that there was an opportunity to create a business with value. Capital was an issue, so I needed to raise money, and did. So I approached seven shareholders. We capitalized the company. If in retrospect, I've often wondered whether I would ever do that again with that amount of money. It's a classic example of too dumb to know better, because if I look back, it was tight, but we made it. And but having outside shareholders, which we did for about the first 10 years or so, was actually very beneficial. These guys brought a lot of experience in our particular industry. They were very valuable. Some of them were very persistent, asked very, very detailed questions at board meetings, and a couple of the other ones were much more strategic. I mean, they saw a future for the company way beyond what I could see, because at the time, you know, as a small guy in a small company trying to get it going, you're just so involved in the minutia. Sometimes it's hard to really look up and imagine a larger future. But these guys were very, very helpful, and they were honestly very richly rewarded for their investment. I'm pleased to say that all of them did very well by that. What I envisioned for the company was, again, 1986 and starting the company in 1987. There were some companies that we had identified outside of North America who were really looking for access to the North American marketplace, and vice versa. There were companies in North America trying to understand how to reach out to a much larger supply base. And so we tried to create or built that bridge. And so our business model was to match those companies and to create an infrastructure that would match the buyer and seller with very specific components. Early on, a lot of the components that we worked with were a bit more of a commodity nature, and today that's a very small part of our business. Virtually everything we build today is of a custom nature. We're probably the only supplier that they have at that moment. It's not to say that they can't at some point find somebody else to do it, but at that particular moment, it's very likely, at least in 75% of the time, that we're the only person that can supply that to them. And that's a real privilege, but it's a heck of a responsibility. If I think about what it was that maybe from an achievement standpoint, a great moment or a great achievement, I'd have to say it would be several, but probably they're all related. I think the thing that is most rewarding to me is when we are recognized by customers with some type of award. And I say that because it speaks not just to DNA or any one person at DNA, but throughout our organization, in particular to the people that we work with and have worked with, such as Vaughn for a very long time, or some of the other companies that we've worked with. It not only speaks to us, it speaks to our suppliers and the people we work with, but even their companies and their suppliers. It also recognizes that, particularly because of the nature of the business that we have, most of the people, most of our customers, we've had for a number of years. And during that time, certainly there's going to be good days and bad days. And to then get recognition from them is really significant, because it means that on balance, that you bring a lot of value to them, that they recognize you, recognize us. They recognize us as being among the best of the best. there isn't an asset base really beyond our people. I mean, that is things such as the culture of the company exist, but it's amorphous. The role of the people is to create that culture, to live that culture, to carry out our mission, so to speak. But again, by and large, what we're trying to do is create a place that recognizes individual contributions. As I said, we really celebrate individual initiative, and hopefully have created a way to reward individual initiative. The lessons that we have learned over the years is the ability to adapt to our market. We're persistent, but we're also resilient. And the needs of our customers have changed. The markets that we serve today are much different than the markets we served 25 years ago. Many of the markets that we served 25 years ago really don't exist in North America any longer. So we've had to take the products that we work with and find new markets, or we've had to work again with our primary partner and others to reach in and offer new solutions to our customers. So the ability to adapt our business model to the needs of the market and the needs of the customers certainly has been a lot of help and really fundamental to our business. 25 years from now, I think the role of DNA in a marketplace is still important and vital. We build relationships, and at the end of the day, that's an awful lot of what commerce is the engine for commerce. I hope we continue to do that. I think there will be a technology component to what we do, maybe a little bit stronger than we have in the past. That is already beginning in some of the product lines that we work with and some that we've developed internally. So I would see that, again, as we move our mission forward and our product lines forward, we will be seen more from a technology company, not necessarily or purely a service company. I think that's likely to be one of the things that differentiates us from our early years. Yeah, my youngest daughter, and I forget whether it was first grade or second grade, did tell me that when she was asked in class what her father did, she said he works at the airport, because that's where I spend an awful lot of my time, was at the airport.